Hey family, you're tuning in to the Jimmy Bonds podcast on Illadelphia Radio. Pardon any technical difficulties as we're recording live on the Zoom platform. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yeah. Jimmy. Lights, camera, action. Some people thought I quit and I ain't giving satisfaction. From a different era, writing rhymes up on napkins. What you had to say was more important, man, than traffic. Yeah, I'm talking back and speaking of contemporary.
What's good, family, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. This episode is sponsored by Major Flavor Catering. I'm your host, Jimmy Bonds, along with my co-host, Ty. T.Y., what's good, Ty? How you feeling?
All good in the neighborhood, JB. Live from the 215.
Live from the 215. You know I can't forget my other co-host, the lovely Miss Lucy. What's up, Lucy? How you doing, mama?
I'm feeling good. What about y'all?
Doing good, mama. Doing good. Remember, family, you can call us with your comments and questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JINNYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Also, family, remember you can follow us on Instagram at Jimmy Bonds Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast Bonds. Make sure you join the Jimmy Bond Podcast Facebook group. Let's join the Facebook group, continue to open a dialogue. Also, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jimmy Bond Podcast YouTube channel, as well as the Illadelphia Radio YouTube channel. Let's get them streams up, get them subscribers up, family. We're going to keep it moving. Moving right along tonight, family, we have a special topic discussion with a special guest. But before I introduce the guest, I'll tell you what the topic is. We are discussing life in the military. And I felt like this discussion was important. Had a conversation with our guest a little while ago. And he came in my office and he was talking about the experience. And I just was like, you know what? I got to have him on because people don't talk about this. You hear a lot of times people always say, you know, thank you for your sacrifice. Oh, no. Thank you for your service is what they say. Okay. That thank you for your, everyone says that. And I asked our guest, I was like, you know, how you feel about that? Like, what does that make you feel? So, you know, he opened up about it, started talking about it, but I wanted to bring him on because what he was saying was so profound. How he felt about the experience was so important. And also the lineage of it as well. The lineage of the military within families in America was a big thing. And I thought it would be important to have somebody with that experience. So tonight, we are joined by a special guest, my man, Dr. John Taylor. He is a retired staff sergeant in the Marines. So I'm glad to have him on. Dr. John, what's up, man? How you feeling, man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good.
I'm doing all right. But let me correct you a little bit. I was an E5, which is sergeant. And I'm disabled. I didn't retire.
There you go. Okay.
So I'm just a medically connected veteran for the rest of my life.
Well, I mean, while we got you talking about it, how long were you in the military?
11 years.
11 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. You know, one of the things I wanted to ask was, you know, what made you want to join?
I come from a veteran family. You know, me and my uncles and some of the females in my family, they were Navy, they were Army, they were Air Force. We had 2 Marines at the time in my family. So with that being said, I joined and became the 3rd generation. Then my son, who just went in last year, he's 4th. So we have 4 generations of Marines in my family.
I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, you hear about that a lot within American culture, you know, families having these lineages in the military, whether it be in the Army, the Air Force, and Marines.
Right.
You know,
all the branches.
Right.
We got them all in my family.
Right. Exactly.
Coast Guard.
A couple Coast Guard. Yeah. Well, you know, I kicked it off with you know that slogan or that saying people always say, "Thank you for your service." And
yeah, I thank the postman for his service. How about that?
That's what I'm saying.
I think the nurse for her service. You know, the word service is like, you know, something you render. I didn't render. I signed a contract. I gave up my life. I sacrificed. So the bottom line was, you know, they told me how to, you know, piss, shit, eat, all that at the same time. However they felt. Like you went to the bathroom when they say so. You go eat when they tell you it's regimented. So the regimented lifestyle is not for everybody.
Yeah.
But don't make a mistake of understanding, like, just because somebody's in the military don't mean they're patriotic.
Now you just said something right there. You said just because
you got a lot of people in the military who are not patriotic. They didn't do it for, I got to go be all I can be for the United States of America. They did it because they needed a job. They did it because they wanted the college benefits. They wanted to do the job because, like myself, I came from out of it, so why not? So, they're like, make suggestions. You want to go to college, you might as well go in the military and let them play for it. And with Black communities, that's a strong push to go into the military so you can get them to take care of you. That's a strong push. When I was in high school, that was like one of the things. A lot of us went into the military because we wasn't going to college, and so on. So,
I mean, you really hitting some points right here. Ty, I know you got some questions, bro. Before I ask my next one, go ahead, Ty.
Dr. John, how you doing this evening?
How you doing, Ty? How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. Where you from, man?
I'm originally from Richmond, Virginia, but I've been living in Philly for almost 20 years.
He like me, Ty. He a transplant. He just like me.
Yeah. But, I mean, technically speaking, I don't live everywhere, bro. This country ain't something you're supposed to possess when you're Black.
That's what I was about to ask you. I mean, in the military, the travel part of it, how does that affect you as far as having to travel?
It was good. If it was an effect, it was a good effect because I got to see the world. I got to see people. I got to see all kind of things that I wouldn't normally see if I was just sitting in my own community. I mean, let's face it, a lot of people live on 20th Street. They don't get past that. I got to see everybody's 20th Street. I got to meet people that I probably would have never ever met in my life. I got to experience different nationalities. I got the feeling of being privileged. Yeah, how about that? Because I'm a veteran, I felt privileged. I got to eat foods I was never accustomed to. I got to shop and buy things that I didn't think I could afford when I was young. That is very accessible to military veterans because we get discounts basically everywhere we go. And I got to deal with women I would have probably never even came across. You know what I mean? So I got my education. I did it all. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, the military gave me a different characteristic versus being a civilian. I'm regimented, what is a big part of being different. Most civilians are not regimented. You know what I mean? They go as come as they please.
Yeah.
When you're in the military, you're told what to do, and it's called an order. A lot of people think that's a very harsh word. Take this order or else, but it is that way. But in the military, you don't mind because doing an order means you could be safe. Completing the order can mean you can get a pay raise.
Okay.
You get awarded, get all the medals and stuff so you can look all, like you're important. So, following an order was just the thing to do. And if you didn't, you wasn't appreciated. You wasn't appreciated. You was not appreciated by anybody, whether they were Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whether they were male, female, whether they were from the Bronx versus some country ass place from Alabama. You just was not appreciated because the order meant we all get along.
Yeah.
It's not like that in the civilian world.
Nah.
There's no order. That's why things are the way they are. If I had it my way, I send every motherfucker to the military 1 year before they go into the civilian life so they can understand how to work right. And then they understand your accolades should never precede your ethic. Like, you got a lot of people out here, they think just because who they are and what they can do and how much money they got, they that bomb. But in the military, nobody cares. If you're not following the order.
Yeah, that's deep.
How I'm going to trust you in war to shoot somebody and you can't follow order?
That's real. That's real.
Like, I learned in the Marine Corps, and I served 2 branches, by the way. I was in the Marines and the Air Force. But I learned in the Marine Corps that your weapon wasn't for you, it was for the person next to you. That's some deep shit.
Yeah, that is
so
some
as a
school
teacher, because I taught for 19 years, and I taught the majority here in Philadelphia, I would teach my students, like, listen, your work that you complete and help somebody else's work, that's how I grade y'all. It's called a percentage for a reason. So if I got 60% Fs and 1 A, I'm looking at the person with the A. You don't help your people out. Like, talk to your classmates. Why you the only one? And then I reward that person for helping.
See,
every teacher don't think that way. I get it.
Nah, they don't.
But I'm a firm believer that, black teachers should be teaching black kids, because can't nobody tell a black kid how to sit down, shut the fuck up like a black person.
Yeah, that's real. That's
you know
real.
What I'm saying?
If they
so
do, they be.
You want to get them ready.
Racist.
You want to get them ready for life. We got to do this in order.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all out of order. You know what I mean? Whole society's out of order. That's what we're talking mainly when we was in there. A lot of things was funny sounding, but in reality, it's the truth.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, nothing was funny sounding. You were saying, bro. Nothing was funny sounding at all. Everything was very concrete, elaborate, to the point, from a different perspective. And that was why I wanted to talk to you, because I thought no, you're good, man. I thought this was one of those things where, like, people don't talk about this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? People don't elaborate on not even just their military experience, but more just like how it plays out. I was
mainly talking with you, bro, because you're a pleasant sounding person. You always, you had, like what you're doing right now, you got this big smile. So when you ask me questions about, I didn't mind answering you, but I didn't think the whole office and even everybody behind me.
No, we stopped it. We stopped the whole office stopped. Listen to what you had to say.
Your boss came out. I was like, yo, what's going on? I got the floor.
Yeah.
Like, all right, let me introduce myself. Maybe I get to own him out the deal.
But I'm saying, that's what it was. It was right. It was about how you were talking about it. Because I'm real big on these slogans that they promote a lot of times. Like, we thank you for your service, and they're just thanking you for your service. But it's like, it's so much more than that.
Yes,
and you said
it is.
You changed it. You said, no, it's not thank you for your service, it's thank you for your sacrifice.
Right.
That's really what people should be saying. Because like you said, service, anybody can do a service. But you sacrifice your life.
This gonna blow your mind too. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. There's not too much of a big difference between penitentiary, prison, jail than the military. Okay? All right, when you get locked up, which I have once and never happened again. I don't see how people like that shit. But one time I did, I was like, yo, this is like being in boot camp. That nobody likes you.
Yeah.
Okay. You're told when to go to bed. Lights out is in both buildings. If you're in the penitentiary, if you're in boot camp, lights out mean lights out.
Yeah.
You're being watched. You got armed guards. There were armed motherfuckers outside of our buildings. And you don't want to get caught like the AWOL situation. They could shoot you.
Yeah.
Just like in prison or a penitentiary, you get shot. Like the guards are, like on the heavy scale, like, penitentiary shit. They get cross the yellow line or some shit like that. But I'm saying, like, being told what to do, how to do 24/7, that just rearranges your mindset.
Yeah.
So that's not a service. That's almost like being abducted.
Yeah.
But you sacrifice for this. You know what I mean? It's like you gave your rights up as a criminal when you got caught. You gave up everything about you as a person when you signed that dotted line and your ass was transferred behind them big ass gates with barbed wires. Think about where the Marine Corps boot camp is. It's on Paris Island.
Damn.
It's detached from the entire state. It's surrounded by water. Like, where you gonna go? You can't say I quit.
Yeah. Wow.
You can't get out your rack one day and say, no, I don't want to do this more. Send me home. You know what I mean? They be like, whatever. You're going to take this and you're going to love it. And then, like I said, I'm third generation Marines. I only can imagine what my uncle before me who went to Vietnam and the uncle before him who went to Korea, what they had to go through.
Yeah.
Now, I'm with the Marine Corps League right now. I am the public affairs officer of Pennsylvania for the Marine Corps League.
Okay.
And I handle everything in Pennsylvania for the Marine Corps League. So I became privy to a lot of information that I didn't know existed for the Marines. Like, you guys gonna get a history lesson real quick.
Oh, that's good. Let's get
it. Martha Point Marines were black men here in Philadelphia. They were part of the free slaves who could actually have a voice in things. The boot camp was for the Marine Corps was established November 10, 1775. And the contribution of black men in the Marine Corps needs to be like broadcasted to the entire world. Black men created the Martha Point situation that is still the basics for basic training for the Marine Corps.
Mm.
What
That's
is that?
heavy. It was on Market Street. It's a building, and they let the history of that building go. Some dude, from what I understand, bought the building, supposed to be turning it into a gym, but I don't think they should do that. But then again, I was told that the city has really screwed that area over so bad, like it's really not worth to invest anything over. So I just left it alone. But that is significant in history because it was our ancestors who pioneered the structure of the Marine Corps boot camp. Yeah. And how they're supposed to be trained.
That's not even.
We all know the Marine Corps boot camp is the toughest.
That's what I hear too. It's not the Army, it's the Marines that's the toughest. And that's what I hear.
You either Army strong, but you're Marine tough. That's the slogan. I mean, we got a strong Army. Soldiers look, they're strong. And the Navy built for shit, and the Air Force is incredible. But we just America's, expendables. That's what the Marine Corps is. You got to be crazy to be a Marine.
so he put up his Marines outfit.
So I told a kid one day in classroom, he was asking me where I was from, and I said, "Well, I live in Frankfurt, Dillon and stuff like that. So that would be my place from Philly. I'm from." I said, "I'm not on that gangster stuff because I'm a Marine." You know what I'm saying? You can be all the gangster you want. You only need one of us in your bar to fuck that bitch up for the rest of your life. That's just one. And that's how we feel about it. That's the attitude and the mentality of most Marines we call jarheads, right? Yeah. Because the mentality is that you're just tough beyond human standards. Yeah. Like in the Army, your Army's strong. The Army's a big defense. Like our Army is one of the best armies in the world. And most of the money comes from the United States Army. And the Marine Corps gets its material from the United States Army. But the mentality is different. And the reason why they got to push Marines that way, because they push Marines in first and bring them out last. They're expendable. That's why they call jarheads. That's because they pushed them. Like, they had to have something to compete with the German troops. The German troops during World War II nicknamed us double dogs. That's where the double dog name comes from. It came from the fact that they fought so crazy. And they didn't care about their life. Like if you go to some war museums and read how certain Marines had died, it'll blow your mind. Like these guys took a grenade just to go kill 5 Viet Cong. One grenade, one person. Then there was a guy, Dan Daly, who stood on top of a wall with a pistol and started shooting everybody he could shoot. And they got machine guns. So that's the history behind the concept of the Marines. The boot camp is 4 months, two weeks. Everybody else boot camp is 2 months.
See, I mean, this is everything you're sharing right now, Dr. John. People don't talk about this, man. People are not even as in depth to understanding what it is, what the philosophies are, the attitudes behind each branch of military. At least you got a question. I know you got a question.
I wanted to go back when you were speaking about how it's kind of like in a sense of being incarcerated, because mental health for me is like the biggest thing. Like,
okay, you one more people. All right, let's get it in my brain, right?
Huh?
Let's go to the brain.
Okay.
I got you. I'm just joking.
No, but I talk to a lot of veterans. I'm not going to lie. I have been guilty of saying, thank you for your service. In my mind, I think it's the most selfless act one can do, no matter what their reason for enlisting, right? But I always ask, like my cousins who've been in the Navy, I always ask, what's your mental state during those times? Like, did you ever have a time where it's like you were affected to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm not mentally strong to pull out whatever listen I have to do during this day.
You're gonna laugh. Don't laugh too hard when I say this. I had a psycho mom who grew up north from Connecticut and lived down south and had to deal with a whole lot of jealous black people in her life. So she used to bring that anger home. So I was used to people temperament acting crazy because my mom used to yell at me all the time. God, bed, nigga. All right, mom. Don't talk back to me. Don't you do nothing to embarrass my ass. You understand me? You better behave. I could be in public and get the ear tugged. Oh, goddamn. Told you shut your damn mouth. So by the time, and then I had an uncle who was in the Marines who was crazy. He went to Vietnam. Yeah, he was crazy. My Uncle Joe had did some shit. So I grew up with the whole mentality that nothing affects me but me. So every veteran experience is different.
Yeah.
Boot camp don't affect everybody the same way. You got to remember, some people go to boot camp with the mindset, I'm ready to kill somebody. I met a lot of them rednecks.
Yeah,
and they're the ones going to special forces. They become like the guru of murder, but it's okay because they're in the military.
Yeah.
And PTSD is established in everybody. Everybody's post-traumatic. I mean, you get a woman who gets molested.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yeah.
It happens in the military too. What can happen in the military is the same shit that you probably had seen in the hood before you even went into the military.
Yeah.
There's people on drugs. There's people selling drugs. Divorce rate crazy, spousal abuse, murders, accidents. Like when I was in boot camp, a captain blew himself up with a grenade by accident. Yeah. Shit like that happens, sweetheart. Now you want to go into like the
limbs okay?
Huh?
Did he lose a limb?
He died.
Oh.
Honey, a grenade in your hand, you ain't surviving that.
Oh.
You're not, a grenade is meant to take out a house.
Damn.
You dumb enough to keep that bitch in your hand after 3 seconds. It's supposed to be grab, pull, snap, ooh. But he didn't do that. He got a little too hype.
You know he a man. You think he just lost a limb? Like when he got a prostate?
Like if air blew off.
Hold on, watch this. Did the Marines who witnessed this had to go to therapy and sit down and talk to somebody?
No.
Like the little kids who watched the man get eaten by a tiger at the circus? Remember that?
Yeah.
All the kids had to go to therapy. They were ready for a huge lawsuit. There's no lawsuit from seeing no shit like that. And there's no therapy. It's like sit down, eat chow. Because you ain't got another 5 minutes to waste. Damn. I mean, if you're in war, you're going to see some shit like that.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you about that, the war aspect of it all, because when I mentioned stuff, I was like, yeah, at least the war is over. You was like, man, the war ain't no war over. What you talking about? Ain't no damn war over. They got wars everywhere. I done lost brothers in Somalia and everything else. What you talking about? Ain't no war over. Yeah. And I was taken back by you saying that, because I was like, yeah, you're right. I'm sure you're right. Like, you know what I mean? I was open to that, because people don't think about that kind of stuff. They just see on the news. And it just is what it is. We on the news, they got a war fighting. They're over there fighting somewhere. Right now it's Ukraine. Everybody's in Ukraine and they doing stuff in Ukraine. But based on what you was telling me, it's bigger. It's way bigger than what you can really see.
It's always bigger than what you can see, because this is America. But Lucy, did I answer your question, sweetheart?
No, you did. It's just for me, like the stories I hear, I like to hear from different aspects. Like people.
All right, no problem. Because every veteran's different.
Yeah, so no, you did.
Right. All right, man. All right, Jimmy, look, for real, war veterans are a different type of veteran. They combat.
Yeah.
And I'm not a war veteran. I didn't go in the military with the intentions to go to war.
Yeah.
That was not my mindset. So they got this thing called the ASFAD. So if you score high enough for the good jobs, you may not have to go to war. Not every job in the military is made for you to go to war. And every time I tell somebody I'm a Marine, they think I kill people. They think I went to war and all that shit. And I said, no, man, I was a communications expert. I was a satellite repairman. I was fixing satellites, and I was laying wired for systematic and telecast and wiring systems for electricity, as well as fiber optic cable. And they're like, what? Yeah, man, I had an important job besides killing somebody.
See?
I feel like the first thing you think about when you think of military, you think, oh, they went to war. So that's the first thing you want.
Right, because they watch too much damn Rambo.
Yeah.
I think John Rambo.
Yeah. You watching John Rambo, you watching. That shit ain't no John Rambos in nobody's military. Them niggas get shot just like everybody else.
I was just about to
I'll be laughing.
And not everybody is in a position or have a title for war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? My job wasn't. Even when I was in the Air Force, it wasn't. Now I did get activated for doing war with the Air Force, but I was stateside. I got flown at Brooks Air Force Base, and I trained troops, and I was a public health tech.
Okay.
So with that being said, I was the hearing conservationist program. I had to do the hearing exams. I was the TB guy. When you come in, I look at the bubble on your arm and shit like that. Make sure you didn't have TB, shit like that. And then when you came back from out of theater, I did your out process and make sure you went to everybody you're supposed to see before I was the last signature to sign off on it. And then the other job I had was I inspect all the buildings. Now, when I was in the hangar one day, this pilot didn't see me in there. Nobody told me they had shut the damn door, and the pilot cut his fucking airplane on, blew my hearing out. So I wear hearing aids for that shit. So that's how I'm service connected.
Wow.
So you get injuries, in the military, just like you get injured you get
on the job
injuries, like on the job, doing training, like you was in theater for regular battle.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I ain't gonna fight nobody in fucking war.
Listen, we gonna take a break.
I am not a patriotic person.
No, listen,
I went in because I wanted some money, and I wanted the title, Marine.
No doubt.
That's what I went in for. I'm honest. I don't give a fuck. You hear
me? Fam, we sit here talking to Dr. John about life in the military and his experiences. He's definitely sharing some stuff that people don't know. That that I find to be very interesting and profound. Right. This is the kind of stuff I love doing. Ty, am I right? This the kind of stuff. Lucy, we love this kind of stuff. Like love the back door. Let's get in the back door and find out what's really good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But listen, family, we're gonna take a quick break. Remember, you can call us with your comments or questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. You're listening to Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio, the indie station for the indie nation. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Megan from Abu Dhabi. Listen to the Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio.
Welcome back to the Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We thank you for listening. Remember, family, you can call us at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And welcome back to Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. Remember, family, you can call us with your comments or questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Lucy, I'm gonna get you. Brother, family, we are back talking about life in the military. Speaking to our boy, Dr. John Taylor. He is over here dropping some knowledge. Now, listen, here's the thing. There's so much about you, Dr. John, I did not know. Did not know that you were in both the two branches of the military, the Air Force and the Marines. Yep. I didn't know that you were a school teacher. I'm a sucker for school teachers because my mom was a school teacher. And
I'm a music producer. DrJohnUplift.com is where my music is.
Ty, you hear this?
Quick question. Dr. John, you have an album out?
I sure do. It's called The Honorable.
You have a song called Nobody But Jesus?
That's my song, bro.
I got that song.
That's that song.
Listen, we got he got the CD too. Oh, look. This is how the world connected to the podcast. This is what I'm talking about right here.
Let me jump in real quick.
Go ahead, Ty.
I was supposed to meet him a couple years ago, right before I started the radio station. And we were supposed to get back together, but we never did get together. Wow. And I got your CD, Nobody But Jesus. That's when I play on the radio.
Now it's time to do all that. It's time to do it, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here.
You were helping out vets too, am I right?
Yes, I was. I still do.
He hiding something from you, Jimmy. Dig into him, man.
Yeah, you're going to have to dig into it,
man. I don't talk about that. Here it is, Jimmy. It's not like, I want to wear a T-shirt say I do all this shit.
Right. Now,
I've been through that young phase in my life when I did all of this, and people didn't believe this was me.
Right.
They thought I was capping. You ain't no damn music producer, teacher, and you was in the Marines, and you a single daddy with 3 kids. How you do all that? I'm like, damn, nigga, can a nigga live?
Right.
I guess I got to be Tom Cruise for you to believe that I'm a Mission Impossible.
Right. Exactly.
Tom Cruise an actor, but you will believe that shit. But you don't believe that a normal black man who stand 5'6" did all this shit.
See, I say the same thing. I say the same thing. We all got different talents.
I gotta be like, lying about who I really am.
There you do. You really do.
I got past all of that. So now it's just like, if you really want to know me, get to know me. Instead of me advertising it. Because the bottom line is, it's way more people out there who are disencouraging you because they're faithless than they're actually supporting you because they believe in themselves as well. Like what you could do, I could do too.
Yeah.
Too many people out there don't believe in themselves, and this makes the world horrible.
It's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Like, I'm sitting with two gentlemen now, and we do the organization is called Tailor-Made Veterans. That's with my brother Brian Taylor. You need to interview him one day too, and Richard Bly, who disturbs the fuck out of Upper Darby.
I'm in Upper Darby. That's where I'm at.
Hey, listen, I met him a couple of years ago, and he just kept smiling and shit. I'm like, why does nigga smile so much? You know what I mean? And then I realized he be going after politicians. That's why he smiles so much.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring him on.
But he be attacking their ass.
We're going to have to bring him on.
So it's a whole lot. And the three of us together is just wild. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because my brother, he a Care Bear and shit. Richard disturbed us. You know what I mean? He don't care. He run his mouth so much. And me personally, I just do a whole lot. People just don't understand. Yeah. But they got to accept it. What you going to do?
Right.
For real. I ain't changing. And just because you know how to talk and think nobody else can, I get you.
Yeah, that's real.
And we've shut a lot of stuff down with people that really thought it was cool to do to black men.
Give me an example. Like what? Give me an example.
Like, handle us with property. We got a landlord-tenant situation in Upper Darby that's retarded.
It is retarded.
And they think they can handle black people any kind of way they want to with this housing. Now, you want to mess up people's life the worst way, you ain't got to do nothing else but fuck up their living situation. Their whole existence change. They ready to kill themselves.
Yeah.
You ain't got nowhere to live. The worst thing in life to be thinking about is you living on the streets.
Yeah.
And after the moratorium was over and everybody didn't fear COVID no more, and they say, hey, we're going on with life now. Now it's time for y'all niggas to get money back. Oh, you ain't got it, we're going to put you out. Like that. Well, Amazon sales escalated 37% during COVID.
It sure did.
Because everybody's sitting in the house ordering shit.
Yep.
That they didn't really need. But you blame the citizens for reacting for shit that you're giving them, because let's face it, the Republican president gave everybody money and the Democratic person took out money and gave it to other people across foreign land. That's another story though. So this is what happened, right? The Republican president said, oh, you guys have all the fun you fucking want. Fuck it, grab her in the pussy.
I'm sorry.
And then the decrepit George Burns looking Democrat president that got a side joint that don't do shit. He comes out of nowhere and he takes the money and he gives it away. Now you niggas got to get out your house. You gotta love America, man. I'm glad I sacrificed. Hoorah!
Oh man!
My brother said in landlord-tenant court, it was unreal. It was so many black women, single moms getting thrown out the house. Yeah, well, they're gonna be building more strip clubs lately. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds horrible, but it's the truth, bro.
Nah, bro, you only talking the truth, man. You only talking the truth.
They're gonna be building more strip clubs for this shit, bro. It's enough to make you sick on the stomach.
Yeah.
And then when you go lobby on their ass, they looking at you like, what the hell you're doing in here?
Yeah.
You don't really see black men lobbying. My man Rich got us lobbying. I ain't never lobbied before I read about it. I used to teach it, but I had never done it. So I actually went down to the lobby one day. The shit was fun.
Yeah.
They put me in the paper and shit. I'm like, why they take a picture of me? I was being nice.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, y'all trying to put me on the spot. Like, fuck it off, man. So the bottom line was, we end up attacking everybody because they was attacking us.
Yeah.
I had a landlord come at me like I did something really, really wrong to this guy. I'm a veteran at that. Let's talk about that. You sold my house. I didn't know who you sold it to. And then I get a phone call. Yeah, rent increased by $300, but it got to be. I got to pay my possession was $150 late fee by Friday. Motherfucker, it's Wednesday.
And the landlord was the mayor's home.
And I'm renting from the mayor. You tell me this on a Wednesday, and you want me to give you an extra $300 or it's $150 after that. I said, shit. He didn't know no better. I'm telling you, boy wasn't ready for this. Wait till you hear this, Jimmy. Wait till you hear this, Lucy and Tyrone. The boy wasn't ready for this. I got in my car. I went down to the city hall of Upper Darby. I wanted to know who owned that property. Because if your name ain't on the property right now, I own you shit. Don't you know I was denied the right to know? They kept me in that building almost 2 hours. Fucking with my mind, because they called up to your tenant's down here. You know what they called?
That's why she wasn't on.
She wouldn't even come out the office. She went on Zoom to do her meetings that she was supposed to do live. Because I went in there and I said, hey, there's a landlord supposed to sell your house and don't tell you. And then all of a sudden expect you to pay all this damn money. She wouldn't come out. So loud about it. And I didn't use my inside voice.
See.
So all my hearing aids in my ears heard me ringing inside my own head. I yelled so loud I hurt my own feelings. I was like, do a landlord supposed to sell your house, and then another motherfucker called the next day. You always all this? I'm glad y'all did that to me.
It's true.
You know what I did? The next following day, I went to talk to the judge that would hear my case. Yes, I did. I hit him up on Facebook first. I gave him a little desperate cry. They fucking with me, bro. Know what to do. He said, come on, talk to me. I'm here in the office now. So I went down there. And the old white lady's behind her, you can't go back. I'm here to see Christopher. I called him by his first name. And he came out, he said, hey, come on back here, Dr. John, sorry. So I went back there with him, and I told him what had happened. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. It got to come across my desk anyway. When I get it, we'll fix it. But that wasn't enough for me.
What you do next, man? What you do next?
I went to go get you, boy. Rich went in there and cussed him out to the point the cops had to escort him. I was like, oh, shit. The cops had to escort him out. I was like, Rich, man, you don't have to do that for me. Like, fuck that. It had fun. He came out laughing.
Yo.
Because they don't want us to be the angry black man, but they want us to be the angry black man.
They do. They
But I tell young boys, ain't no wrong with that. Expressing yourself and letting them know fuck off, but do it with some sense.
Yeah.
Don't do it in a position and you by yourself.
Yeah.
They're going to shoot your ass.
Yeah, they sure will. They sure will.
They're going to shoot your ass.
A
lot of people miss this little young boy from Chicago. He was on YouTube and he said, for real, y'all think it's us out here killing each other, but they come in here disguised and they shooting us. And these are your racist people. And I couldn't believe it. But when I went to Pittsburgh, I was driving through this little rural area. I don't know if you ever been to Pittsburgh, but yo, that's a town to see.
Yeah,
Lucy went to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lucy.
No.
Pittsburgh just gave me the fucking creeps.
You said Pittsburgh gave you the what? It gave you the what?
Fucking creeps, man. Like I drove around and we was going to this place called Cranberry, so we took the back road, right? I can't make this up. I wish I was making this up. You know, I got a pretty vivid imagination, but this is not imaginable. This is some real shit.
Yeah.
We drove by and there was a group of white men. I knew they wasn't in the military. They got long ponytails and shit. They hippie looking, but they were armed to the tooth. And my sons were looking over there. I glanced over. I said, "Man, y'all turn your heads around. Fuck that. Come on, let's go." I'm driving fast. I don't want to catch a ticket because I look like I'm in Mayberry. So I don't want to play with these rednecks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, don't stare at them. Let's go. They were staring at the guns. They were armed to the tooth during COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure were. They saw COVID as a reason to go get a gun.
But listen, we blaming Not we. Let me take that back. I'm so sorry I said we. I apologize. America is blaming black people for guns. Like we the only one bought them. Gun sales is on an all-time high.
It is.
Hey, bro, I'm a hunter. I go hunting. We couldn't find shotgun shells. My brother's in right here can tell you. We went to another state to pick them up. Because all the shotgun shells around the Philadelphia area, it was all sold out. You couldn't find 40s. You couldn't find 9s. And you know what else happened? They sold a bunch of 9mm to females. No offense, Lucy, but a 9mm is a professional pistol. It's not meant for war. It's competition pistol. If you really want to shoot somebody, a 9 is not the way to go. 40s, 357, something hard. 45s, Desis, those are hard. 9mm take time to practice because the velocity of the bullet is lighter and it's a stretch. They made the 9 after the Ruger for competition. They sold a lot of females competition material. And they don't even know how to insert the clip. A bunch of women went out and got license to carry and weapons.
Yeah, I seen it. I read an article about it today. Yeah, you're right.
And I'm like, they don't even know how to use it.
You're right. I mean, but even the dudes that got them don't even know how to use it. They don't know how to use it.
Yeah, you know what?
It's a lot of people with guns that don't know how to use it.
It's true. And there's a lot of them who don't understand how to use a weapon. And they taking a hammer to a position that needs a screwdriver.
Right.
Like you got the wrong tool.
Exactly.
So America doesn't talk about that fact that all those guns were sold at that point in time. And America don't say, oh, we had a bullet shortage for a reason. And now we got a death rate of 390-some people.
Yeah. Every year here in Philly, that's for sure.
I had 3 students that were shot and killed. My buddy over here, he lost his son to gun violence. Yeah. And this is the son of a veteran who fought in Vietnam.
Well, you know, and you were in the military. You know, Ty, my saying all the time is we live in war zones. People be like,
that's why I told you. I said, war is everywhere, bro. War, we ain't done with no war.
Yeah.
Now, this is the creepy part, right? Everybody's talking about the little gay situation with Jeffrey Dahmer and the little boy from P Valley episodes. Like we supposed to care about that. When putting September 21st, 2022 just said, oh, I'm going to war with America. I had enough of y'all.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. That's what Putin said.
But y'all not talking about that.
No, it's not important to some people.
Y'all still talking about going to get the latest shoe. What you gonna do if they drop gas on us and everybody start mutating? You gonna wear some Jordans then?
It's true. It's true.
Nobody's ever seen the effects of a nuclear holocaust. Other countries have. They were mutated people.
Yeah.
People you couldn't even identify, you didn't even think was human. This is in rural parts of the world of other countries that we so-called drop bombs on all through Asia and shit.
Yeah.
So the understanding of history, how it repeats itself, is to know that all powerful nations have come to an end. America's no different. We might be the new Rome, but even the first Rome failed. There's no protocol for countries staying in existence for so long. Oh, well, you're going to stay in existence for 400 years. We're going to let Egypt rule the world for 300 years. It didn't. That when it's time for this country to be done, it's going to be done. And not even being biblical, but didn't it say Mystery Babylon will fall?
Yeah.
I ain't down with these Edomites. I'm a Hebrew.
Real. That's real.
I let that Christian shit go a long time ago when I found out that J wasn't invented to the 15th century. Who the hell is Jesus then? Why is Buddha in English and any other language? Allah is Allah in everybody else's language. But y'all changed Jesus' name from Yahusha to Jesus. Oh, I get deep, bro.
Yeah, bro, you good. You good over here. You good on this,
bro. And then black people walking around like we owe them something. We don't owe them shit. We don't owe them taxes. We don't owe them. You don't supposed to tax life.
That's true.
That's what make life hard.
We owe them to live. Every black person need to be like Native Americans. Native Americans don't pay taxes. We shouldn't be paying taxes neither. And we got treated way worse than they did. Yeah. People didn't notice, but Trump did sign on reparations.
Loose. What we talk about all the time, reparations, right? And then what we talk about, and what we always
they told us to hate Hitler. They told us to hate Hitler, and that nigga shook Jesse Owens' hand.
He did.
How you hate? He shook Jesse Owens' hand and allowed him to run in the Olympics. But the coach that Jim Brown had wouldn't even let him in his own house.
Oh, family. Look,
and they act like our minds supposed to be focused on entertainment. I do not care what Megan do. I do not care that Cardi don't cook, don't clean. Still got the ring. I don't care. I don't care. Chris Brown had an STD. I don't care. Bro, I was the last motherfucker to want to talk about Chris Rock and Will Smith. I don't care. He slapped that motherfucker.
We were saying the same shit. Like, we was like, what does it matter? Does it really matter?
But why not distract you? Why not distract you from what's
important? Why they distracting you? Because you are faithless.
That's why.
Right. Because like the faithless are distracted. Oh. The faithless are distracted. Their attentions are not servitude to who you're supposed to be serving. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's where the attention's supposed to go. The real one.
Yeah.
So if you worried about all this other stuff, you can't pay your bills and so on. We supposed to be community people.
Yeah.
I was supposed to let Rich fall. He was supposed to let me fall. I'm supposed to let my brother fall. I was supposed to let you or any of y'all fall. And y'all was supposed to let me fall. We supposed to take care of each other. It's not I got mine, you get yours. It's not date anybody you want. I'm just saying. I gave up 11 years of my life in the military to come out to the civilian world and regret that I ever got out. I was like, I should have stayed in. This shit sucks on it. I thought it was bad in the Marine Corps. It's worse here.
I was going to ask, that was one of my questions.
Well, Lucy, let me explain. It was better in the Marine Corps because I knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, like,
if the motherfucker didn't like me next door, I knew he didn't like me.
Yeah.
George, you can't lie anymore. I got you, brother. All right. You know, you want to shout at the title? If you can smell what I'm cooking, come on, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? So out here, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And this whole gay shit is driving me nuts. You don't know who to talk to. You offend everybody nowadays. Everybody's so offended. Like, you can't say nothing. Everybody gets so, I can't believe you said that. And they shooting each other over conceited ass words. Like when I heard this one murder in Upper Darby, the young boy shot his baby mom because it was word on the street that wasn't his baby inside her, so he shot her. Y'all didn't hear about the lady last year that was shot?
Yeah,
and
I read about it.
She was pregnant.
Yeah.
Last year? Yeah, well, she was living in the area I lived in Upper Darby.
Where'd you live at in Upper Darby? What part of Upper Darby you live in?
Off of Church Lane, in between Church Lane and Long Lane.
Yeah, I know exactly
where that 7-Eleven we used to be. Now it's something else because everybody rob it, so they get new owners every so often.
You talking? I think that's 7-Eleven.
It's called something now. Seven-Star Deli.
I know where you at. I know exactly where you are.
Well, I ain't there no
exactly
more.
where you are. Well, as far as where you used to live at.
Yeah,
right.
Used to be. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Now that's the funny part of Upper Darby. That's the suspect part over that, John.
Right. I personally think, like, for all of us right now, whether you are a veteran or not, it's time to get in order. Because they're not going to give a rat's ass who is who when they start dropping bombs on this place because they done got tired of the people that's in power. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to make amends with ourselves. Black men need to realize we all we got. Sisters need to understand, yeah, if you want to do that black girl magic shit, haven't you realized now that shit is making too many of us disappear out the homes? Poof. Yeah, that's some powerful magic. I know. I used to teach. I taught for 19 years, and there was so many kids who were suffering from, that magical power that black women possess of getting rid of a nigga. You know what I mean? I do not want you in my house no more. You gotta go. You can't be telling me what to do. I I'm crazy. I told you, Lucy. I don't give a rat's ass. So listen, I told you straight up. But
hold up, Doc. Hold up, Doc. What was you gonna say, Lucy? Hold on. What was you gonna say?
No, because I'm so interested in those who are in the military or they are Marines. I'm so interested in love. Like, I know it's probably, I guess, frowned upon doing, I guess I'm not too sure on how that works, but I always wonder, like, how do you keep Jimmy, I'm sorry. I want to know, how do you keep the intimacy? Like, how do you, like, because I feel like you're away from
wow, Lucy. Okay. Wow.
Connection.
This is an interesting one. I like this one. First of all, I've been married 3 times.
Okay.
Intimacy ain't my downfall. You know what I mean? It's the shit that I will not tolerate.
Okay.
As a Marine, I'm not tolerating unsat, undisciplined people. I don't care if you're male or female. You cannot be unsat in my house. And I'm the man of my house. I don't care if you're the woman or not. I'm not asking you to bow down. I'm not asking you to kiss my ass, but I'm asking you to respect what I've accomplished in my life. It's honorable to be a man who feels proud of his accomplishments. You got so many dudes out here, they drowning in liquor because they depressed, because they ain't got no honor. I can't be that guy. Fuck that. Nothing makes me addicted to nothing. I smoke weed every day, but I ain't addicted. I can stop. I ain't doing no other drugs. They gave me all these psycho pills for PTSD, all that shit. I'll take that shit. That shit from my brain. I don't want that. And I'm not a good drinker because it hurts my stomach. So I don't have no real true vices that locks me into shit. I don't gamble like that. All I do is play the keyboard. I love music. I'm not a born person, but I can be. So I'm happy in the way I am. So I don't need a woman in the house redirecting me like I need to grow up. My mom did. So intimacy won't ever be the problem. It's just the structure of the home. I understand women want to design the home. I get it up. But it's a part of me in here too. So we missing that. And I hear a lot of men complaining about all the time. Like, it's like I got no say so. I was listening to DMX earlier today. DMX said, when a woman breaks up with you, it's cool. All right, I'm gonna move on. But if you break up with her, it's World War II. You ain't shit. Like, how you dump me? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get to the point of understanding, like, manhood is still essential. I don't care how much they try to demasculate it. I don't care how many times some people think it needs to be softened. Men are men, just like women are women. So I keep the intimacy going. That's not a problem. I do anything to please my girl or who am I with. You know what I mean? So, if it causes me a cramp in the Charlie horse, I'm going to still keep stroking.
I be stroking. That's what I'm talking about.
but after we done, I don't want to hear all that. I'm like, wait a minute, hey, it takes away from it. You know what I mean? It takes away from it. Yeah. I watched a little comedian today. He's driving in the car. The girl gets in the car. She started running off at the mouth. He dropped her off at the restaurant they were supposed to go. Then he pulled off. So, I mean, we got to, like I said, we got to heal. And I don't, it could be a veteran thing. It could be a situation where, because there's a lot of divorces in the military. It's a lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that anyway.
Right.
I'm glad you're bringing it up.
Navy and Marine Corps got the highest divorces.
Can I ask too? I saw something on TikTok when someone, I don't know what he was, but I know he's some part of the military. But he said that he only got married because he got better benefits. That's
true too? But
okay.
but hold on, you do get better benefits overall in life when you're married. When you're married, you're in a different tax bracket. But when you're married in the military, it's more. You get more of, because you got to take care of her, or she got to take care of you, because she could be a female veteran. Then the kids and everything, so they supplement your lifestyle. You get more. But here's the thing, you don't want to be that GI, the government issue dude who get caught cheating on his wife because you want to cross seas, because you can get brought up on a whole lot of charges. You can lose rank, you lose some of that money. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they really engulfed in your lifestyle when you're in the military.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They want to know what's going on. So you'll see a lot of active duty personnel or people like myself who work for military organizations. I refuse to put certain stuff on my Facebook because it's a reflection of what the military sees, because there's military personnel all over my Facebook page.
Gotcha.
So you still always have to be aware that there's a uniform code and we all follow it.
Yeah.
Like I told you before, nobody wants to be in anybody's battalion, platoon, squad, or anything, and you got people in here that refuse to follow the order. Like, what are you here for?
Yeah,
we're here to take orders. We're here to apply the orders. We're here to get it accomplished. That's what we're here for. So if you out of order that way, nobody wants you in there. Like in the Marine Corps, we'll call you a shipbird. We want you out of there. You can't wear your uniform right. You're a Goma pal. You know, you're a problem.
Yeah.
You can't do your job right, you're a problem.
Yeah.
You're scoring low on your proficiency, like your PFT scores are low, your rifle qualifications is low. Nobody wants to sit by nobody who can't shoot.
That's real.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm
That's
going to
real.
war with you. You can't shoot.
Yeah, man.
You know, it might be just 2 of us and 10 of them, but at least we know how to shoot. We got to stand a chance if you know how to shoot. We ain't going to have no chance. We're going home, bullets in the face, neck. You know, I don't want to be like that. So that's one of the issues that, you know, a lot of military people have when they even come out of service. I hear a lot of military personnel don't want to relate to civilians. They don't want us to relate to civilians because, you know, you feel like they don't understand. And they don't. How you going to understand if you never did it?
Yeah, that's real.
Now, I ain't even, like, brother in the Army, I'm in the Marines. I ain't even had to be in the Army to know that he had regiment, because I'm regimented. Yeah. I was in the Air Force too. Air Force are the slackest, but they still have a regiment. So you adhere to these things, and you don't offset because it hurts the production of what you're doing. So like right now, we're planning a whole lot of events, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. Jimmy, Tailor-Made Veteran. We just did a veteran stand down. We did Juneteenth at the Delaware War Memorial. We did that, and it was at the Rose Tree Park. And we put all this stuff together. And Rich and my brother, they out here doing their thing, making sure veterans are an acknowledgement. But with Rich, he's making sure the Black community out here in Delaware County and any other county we could discuss this in, because I'm out here in Chester County. I probably have to disturb Paoli a little bit. But the bottom line is, it's all in respect to what we are as a cultural people. Yeah. Let's not face it the wrong way. I'm a Black veteran. Yeah. In America.
Yeah. That's real. And my
bad. But when they say the word veteran, a lot of times you don't think of women and minority men as being veterans.
You don't.
But all it takes is 6 months of service and you're a veteran. That's a fun fact.
Yeah, 6 months of service. That's it. I ain't gonna say that's it, but
no, that's law. 6 months of service, you consider the veteran.
That's major, man. That's major.
As long as you made it past 6 months, you're a veteran.
Listen. Now you done dropped it on us in the second segment. I'm kind of like I'm kind of dumbfounded. I'm gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a quick break. You didn't say Dr. John said a lot in this second segment, family. And I thought the first segment was going to be crazy. The second segment blew me away even more. So this conversation is great. I know it's needed. Dr. John, I know he wants to and needs to share more of his experiences with the public, with the people, so that they can understand exactly what the veterans go through. The family will take a quick break. Remember, you call us with your comments or questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Listen to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio, the indie station for the indie nation. We'll be right back.
Is it on? I said, is the mic on? It is. Okay, all right, yeah. This is Reverend CC Chicken Wing, and I love listening to the Jimmy Bonds podcast. Insightful, thoughtful words that uplift the people and bring them knowledge to the people. That's the brother Jimmy Bonds right there. You can reach out to the brother too at the Jimmy Bonds podcast @gmail.com. This is Reverend CC Chicken Wing. Is the mic still on? This is on. Okay, I'm sure.
And welcome back to Jimmy Bond's podcast on Illadelphia Radio, the indie nation for the indie station for the indie nation. Remember, family, call us with your comments and questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And family, again, we are discussing life in the military. My brother, Dr. John Taylor, over here, dropping some jewels, dropping some bars, dropping some knowledge. Lucy had a question for him. Go ahead, Lucy. Go ahead and ask your question.
So I wanted to ask, like, are you spiritual or are you religious?
I'm spiritual, very much. Religion, no, I don't believe in the practice of religion because it's asking me to give of my natural self. I'm supposed to give for my spiritual self. My natural life should not be your way of keeping your lights on in your church, your water on, your gas on, your parking lot being paved. Your deacons need a salary.
Yeah.
You have a pastoral staff. You know, you got Congress in your church. Then you have the musicians.
Yeah.
So they getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to church to pay people for my salvation. That's not spiritual. That is natural. Then I did my own studying because he said, study to show yourself approval. And he approved my studying. I know he did because it conformed me to a different way of living. Changed my diet. Like I don't eat a lot of the crap that they said was healthy that's not healthy. But that's a different story. I swear that. We'll be on this all night. But spiritually, I understand that knowledge is only obtained when you have solitude moments with the Most High. You can't be learning from everybody because everybody is not it's not you. That's them, how they interpret it. You may say, you know, God will forgive you for every sin. I might say, no, he forgive sin overall, period. He just don't like wickedness. That's how I feel about it. So what the hell is sin? I had sex with that woman last night, so I sinned. All right, I had a good time sinning then. It felt good.
Or me judging a person is an act of a sin, which the difference is no greater sin.
I don't understand sin. I do know wickedness, though. I do know you wake up one morning, I'm going to bomb a whole nation. You're a wicked motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know you're a wicked person when you can just shoot a 12-year-old child, you know, holding up a pretend gun.
Yeah.
I know you're a wicked person when you can let 12 dudes and you yourself just pin down a girl and have sex with her.
Yeah.
That's wickedness. Which a lot of wickedness we call crime.
Yeah. That's
so
right.
My behavior reflects how I feel about my soul. I love my soul. So I'm going to go out there and do my walks so I can keep my weight down at 51. I'm going to eat right so I don't end up with the bullshit. Diabetes, what we call it, not diabetes, because black people, we call it something. Oh, we call it sugar. I don't want that sugar. No, I don't want that. So,
at that right time, we call it sugar.
Yeah, so I don't want that sugar. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna watch what I eat.
Yeah.
Not because I am fit and I go to the gym. No, I want to live.
Yeah.
So I watch my meat intake. I don't eat the pork, not because I'm Muslim, because it's a filthy damn animal. It's only out one vein, so how it's not fit for consumption. I don't eat all the parts of the chicken. You know, it goes beyond what you know, what they say you shouldn't do. You should be the only person who tells you what to eat and how not to eat it. Sin should mean something different to everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't believe all Christians going to heaven because they're Christians.
Shit. Nah, that ain't the truth. That ain't the truth at all.
I believe it's gonna be Buddhists up there, Muslims up there. It may be some of them people with the weird flag. I don't know. I doubt it, but
Yo, Dr. John going in today. He going in today. Loose over there like what?
But spiritually, I aim to love. I have a site on foot. I have a Facebook group that I created after my third divorce called Love Overall, because I still believe in love.
You know, that's a good thing too, because
right.
I always tell people, like, you know, you can be hurt, but just don't stop loving. You know?
She ain't murdered me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They talking about you got to go heal yourself. I'm like, dang, I ain't get hit by a car or nothing like that. We just had a breakup. Next. You want to love me?
That relationship took it, especially probably within a marriage, it takes out of you within your individuality. Like, so you do have to heal some aspect of yourself.
I think that's all in your head.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Then we'll get into, you know, how comfortable you are with yourself. You know what I mean? And your sexuality and how you are mentally when it comes to how, you know, I don't believe in hurt feelings. I try to be like this. I'm understanding that you maybe wanted to move on. I understand. But why you gotta start shit? You know what I mean? Don't be starting all that mess because you all, you know what I mean? Be cool. You know what I mean? And see, I know one thing about myself. I have done this and don't like it. Once I break up with somebody, I try to just stay broken, because when you go back to your exes, it's a mess. So I don't try to have so many relationships. But when you're looking, you may end up with a lot of relationships. You don't know. Like, life is unpredictable. Why judge yourself? Just live your life and be safe. Be cautious. Be open, but not open enough that you don't have you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, just study life. Be observant instead of subjective, because you know, I don't feel like judging people, and I really don't feel like telling people how to act towards me. I just leave you alone. If I don't like how you doing me, I'm not gonna be sitting there complaining how you doing me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a slave owner. That's what white people used to black people doing, always complaining about how y'all treating us. I don't complain to white people about shit. I don't care how you run your country. I don't. I know the Most High. I know the Most High runs me, not you.
Mm-hmm.
So you can run your country, you can run your laws the way you want it. You can make the little guy go across the little boy who went across the state line, shot at everybody. But then you can take my young boy who got in an altercation, give him life, but you let him go free. So I understand how your laws work for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to accept as black men. That's how they want to do it, but we don't have to play that game with them.
We don't.
We don't have to accept them. We don't have to work. The Native American culture shut down the American economy in 1950s when they refused to buy. Look that up. They refused it.
See?
They hurt their economy. Because we know one thing about white folks, they care about money. You'll get more time for doing something wrong with money than popping your next door neighbor.
It's true. It's true.
So,
it's true.
You know, it's time for us to open our eyes up and realize that we are definitely in the belly of the beast, and the cards are not dealt fairly, and it's not in our favor, because they want to win in a different way. They really was to the point when the Messiah was on the mountain being seduced by Satan. Like, I give you this, I give you that. They were the people say, "Oh yeah, I take that." Our master, who we represent, said, "Hell no, you don't need that."
Yeah,
that's how we are. That's why my spirit is the way it is. I know I don't need that. I don't need their permission.
Well, let me ask you this.
Faith.
Let me ask you this. Would you in regards to your service and everything else, would you do it again? If you know what you know now?
Yeah, of course.
Like no second guessing. I definitely do it again.
I'll do it again. I don't regret the fact that I served. The one thing I like more about it is I earned it. I earned the title.
That's real.
I earned the title to be a Marine. Now, I ain't earned the title to be a soldier. I was not in the Navy. I did the Air Force after the fact. But the fact that I earned their most prestigious title, because when you hear the word Marine, bro, that shit, I didn't know it, but we used to put our uniforms on. We used to walk down, Sunset Boulevard in California, and you thought we were more popularized than the celebrities were, bro. They would stop and look at us. Can we take a picture with you? while we was in our dress blues. And my son is getting that right now. He said, everybody likes us. I said, everybody love Marines, bro.
I was going to ask you about that too. How you feel about all your sons joining too? I mean, I know the lineage is there, but
man,
I mean, personally, how you feel about it? You know what I mean?
I didn't ask for that, bro. I really didn't. I was like, y'all going in? Why? Go to college. I don't. But you know what it is? Like, my mom told me, you know, this is what my mother said to me. She said, all right, you graduated now, right? You out of high school. Now, I ain't trying to tell you what to do, but you ain't got so many options, bro. It's real narrow. She said, you can get a job and work. I expect you to be out of here in a year, so you better save your money and not party it away. That's what she said. Or you go into the military and let them take care of you. But if you go to college, me and the family will make sure you make it through college. So I chose the college route first, and I partied so much I ain't really do no schoolwork. So I joined the Marine Corps, and I joined the Marine Corps because, you know, they said that what my Uncle Joe was, and you know, my Uncle Joe was known to be a little badass and shit. They was like, oh, he's a Marine, you know. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And then when I went into the Marine Corps, I learned what that meant.
Yeah.
I learned, like, you know, it's certain things about Marines. It's just you wasn't gonna be born with it. There's no way. It had to. You had to earn that talent. You had to get that training. So it's a big different scope. Then I had my Uncle Sonny. He was in the Army, and he was Special Forces, and he was the same damn way. Different branches, but same mentality. So, you know, I got one in the Army, one in the Marines, one's about to go in the Air Force. That's their choice. I didn't push that on them.
Yeah, but you were an example, though. You were an example.
You know, that's what leadership is. Leadership is.
I mean, you were definitely an example. I mean, if anything, especially sons look up to their dads more than anything else. You know what I mean? If their dad is doing something positive or doing something that's supporting of them,
right?
You know, just even keeping a roof over their head, they're gonna respect that more than anything else than a dude on the street. They're gonna respect that, particularly if he's doing something, you know, constructive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ty, you got a question, bro?
Yes. I just want to take it back a little bit, Dr. John.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
When you was talking about, well, it's two things actually. One is like military technology that's not available to the public.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were laying down fiber optics and satellites, so on and so forth, can you tell me, like, with the satellites, where were they placed at? Were they like on top of buildings and trucks? Like, how did that work out?
Now, we all had a specific training. We were a shop that had 18 Marines in it. And hold on for a second, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. All right, so we were part of an outfit called Electronics Maintenance Company, El Mako. So and we were a comm company. So one of the facets of our job and composites of our jobs was to be able to be a force in readiness. So if comm is down, how can you be ready? If comm loses its nervous system, you ain't got no war. So comm was essential to war.
Yeah.
We had a team that went and set up all the communication aspects. And then we had a team who stood in the rear and made sure it worked from the other end. Okay? Because somebody has to monitor what's going out in space. Somebody got to monitor what's on ground level. So your job level and the position went like ladders. So this comm part did this comm part did that comm part did this. And with that being said, my job was probably right in the middle with the wiring. There's no comm without wiring or repairing the stuff that needs to be repaired. Because when stuff breaks, you know, somebody got to be back in the rear with the gear to fix it. Yeah. And that was my team, El Mako Company, Electronics Maintenance. Makes sense? Electronic maintenance, we fix and maintain. So one of the important parts of the job was this thing called retrans, where they put us in this helicopter and about 5 of us fly on top of mountains and we test the satellites to send to wherever these people needed at. These satellites could be something that was maintained on ground level. Okay, so ground level satellite, which was the dome scope and the van and retrieving the information from outer space and guess what? To retransmit it back to people who need it.
Gotcha.
So my team was the people responsible for making sure those people got that, right? And we the ones who experiment with the stuff to make sure it worked. That makes sense?
Yeah.
I mean, like we talked about the word example. The word example for me meant when we test this before we send it out. And if it breaks, they send it back to us and we fix it.
Right.
So the big ordeal was like, hopefully it don't fix. Something that need to be fixed, hopefully it don't break.
Yeah.
That's the big aspect. Now, the other crazy part about the wiring part, even on the state side, not in theater, which means you will cross seas, you somewhere doing that, right? We had to put the wire in the trees or on actual telephone lines. Yeah, we had to put the gaps up the tree, and put the wire in the tree, right? So you come across a whole lot of stuff. So part of the training was to learn how to defend yourself while you're doing this. So a lot of us carry heavy arms. We carry 203, which is a grenade launcher. Some of us carry shotguns. Believe it or not, shotgun is that powerful, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Any close range weapon is going to be powerful because it's short range. So it has to be able to impact everything real quick. So we had a lot of, heavy arm training for, munitions which is guns, munitions that hurt things real close because of the jobs we had.
Yeah.
So if I'm in a tree, I want to let a grenade out of a 203 so I can clear a 50-yard radius for myself.
Yeah.
That's half of a football field.
Mm.
So if you in that blast, you ain't gonna make it.
That's real.
So we had that type of training. We had advanced technology training when it came to weaponry too. There were weapons out there that we can use from our vehicles, like what you would see in movies.
Yeah.
The military is packed with that kind of stuff, bro. What do you think your tax? What do you think your tax dollars are going to, bro? Your tax dollars is going to how to kill people, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's the thing that I always wanted to know, and we ain't gonna keep you too much longer. But
I'm good now. I'm good. We can do this.
Here's the thing. I'm wondering, right? They say people who serve in the military are heroes. They say that they are they are really the ones that everyone admires all the time. Why don't they pay like they're heroes?
Well, I can't answer that because I think everybody's gypped in this country. I think the highest paying people in the whole entire galaxy should be school teachers.
No, that's no doubt. That's no doubt.
They the one that taught Obama, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
A teacher taught them first.
Right.
Before you even went into the military, somebody in kindergarten had to tell you sit down, be quiet, eat your snack, take your nap.
Yep.
And then when you got to high school, you had to pass all these tests in order to get to those colleges and get to to that life that we live as adults. So I can't account for military how they at the pay scale, but I will say that the benefits, federal government benefits, is where it's at.
So you think that outweighs the pay?
I mean, think about it. No copay. You need $300,000 surgery. You get from the best doctors. The government's paying for it.
Yeah.
You're not paying for housing if you don't want to. You can marry you and your wife and your children can live in a house on base for free, if that's what you choose, and you rate that and you get it. There's a whole lot of perks, more so than money's given out. The money could be relevant if that's how you live.
Right.
But technically speaking, when you're on active duty, money is almost like you're just saving it. Everything is at your hand and feet. Like you eat 3 square meals a day for free. Your medical is free. Those are the 2 biggest expenses in life.
I mean,
food and healthcare.
Healthcare and your housing.
Right. Well, healthcare, like you got to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
you got to be able to go to the dentist. Like if you get a cold, the flu, you got to go there. If you can't go to the doctor, like, so that's why COVID whooped everybody's ass, because a lot of people didn't have medical insurance.
Yeah.
They can't go treat it. They can't go, they didn't know what was going on. They just, like medical is that important. Medical insurance can break your pocket. There's some medical insurance like $600 a month as an independent person.
It's true.
And they tell you, oh, it's a tax write-off. I'm paying that right now. I can't wait till the end of the year.
Pay that back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So, medical is a huge expense. That's one of the biggest reasons why welfare insurance is so limited.
That's crazy. Yeah, it is. It is definitely limited.
Because a lot of stuff that is charged in the medical field here in America costs a lot of money. I mean, Lucy knows she's basically in that profession, so she knows that certain assurances don't even get respected with these doctors. There's a lot of doctors like, we don't take that insurance. No, we don't take that.
It's true.
So medical insurance is huge. So you getting free insurance is a big deal.
Yeah.
And your food is being taken care of. Come on, man.
You're eating every day.
Groceries can be up to $1,000 a month for some families.
Yeah. That's real.
So those are two. I mean, apart from you need somewhere to live, you got to be able to take care of yourself, and you got to eat. Can't starve.
Yeah.
So you're not paying for utilities. Like not too many places you can live in America, and you're not responsible for the light bill.
Yep. Light bill, water bill, gas
so
bill.
there's a lot of perks to being a veteran on active duty.
Yeah.
And to stay until you retire.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question again, like that is a big benefit. So if you're making $36,000 a year in the military, right, as a E4,
yeah,
which is you start off E0, E4 is basically like a corporal or a specialist in the Army, pretty decent position, but you're still low. But just a simple E4 person making like $36,000 a year, you're not paying for anything. That's $36,000 is going right to your pocket. You're not even paying taxes.
That's real. I can see. You end up with You can end up with close to $30,000 that one year just saving that, John. Yeah,
you're just saving it.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of GIs got a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it blows you. It should blow your mind how some GIs come out as veterans and they broke. What was you doing while you was on active duty?
Yeah.
Like, what were you doing? Did you go to school or something? I don't,
Yeah.
You messed with the wrong woman. She took all your money.
Yeah.
Or you messed with the wrong dude.
That's the other side too. Shoot. Lucy, I would say, Lucy, you got any questions?
Come on, Lucy.
My biggest thing, since you've been all over the world, because my biggest thing is traveling, right? What would you say for you was the best place that you were stationed?
The best place I was ever stationed was San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, Texas is just gorgeous. I forgot I was in America. It has a heavy Spanish influence. They have a mall that's on the river that you can get in a boat and go to the stores. They have these gorgeous restaurants, and the food was just immaculate, and it was not expensive. You get a 2-steak dinner for $32 for you and your boo. You ain't getting that in Philly, man.
You sure ain't.
You ain't even getting that on Groupon either. Yeah. Believe it or not, I went on a date one time. We went to Benny's and took this girl. She got mad because I used Groupon. I was like, you suck. You don't get no date from me no more. You think I'm cheap because I went to Groupon? Like, damn. I'm about judging somebody. You hardcore.
That's real.
So there's a lot of great things that happens, and traveling is the big one. And I got to see a lot of the world, a lot of America. I lived on all 4 parts of the America Democrats: West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, down south, and up north. And even if you station down south, you can be surrounded by nothing but people from New York. And that's how the military is. So, You get to see all the world. You know, I didn't go to a whole lot of fun places like I like to, but my son right now is stationed in Hawaii. And I was like, oh my God, I know you loving it. I know you loving it. He said, oh no, that's boring. He said, you know, it's so many restrictions on the GIs while they're there. And he said, it's only 20% native. That broke my heart. Yeah. He said he was looking for, you know, to see the Hawaiian people and all that. He said it was more white people than anything. Yep. He said there's more hotels than anything.
They're buying it up, making it into villas and condos.
And did y'all hear Bill Gates trying to buy Tobago?
Really?
Yeah, Bill Gates trying to buy Tobago.
I'm not surprised.
I'm about to say, with that money, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know.
I'm definitely not surprised.
And like, you know, we were kind of, you know, joking about it, but if all the rich black people here in America, they probably could buy somewhere like, you know, Wyoming, and we could just go sit right there. All the black people just migrate to Wyoming, and we have our own little government.
I always say that we govern ourselves. I always say that.
Hey, that's how I feel too, Ty.
Govern ourselves.
Because it's never going to be fair. Like, how could it be? Like, you set up a nation, and you want all these people to come live here, but white people in charge. Yeah. It bothers me, especially when our ancestors were treated the worst.
Yes.
And then I found out that in New Orleans had the biggest brothel during slavery. And we all know what a brothel is. That people, men from around the world would come to New Orleans and get all that premium ebony chocolate women that they can handle. And them girls didn't have a choice. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And the agenda is just to push us away from each other. I was talking to a sister about this. Me and her, she was a very earth tone girl. And she was like, you know, it's really weird how they don't want blacks to look like we're in love with each other on TV. Y'all feel that way? She had a good point.
It's
she
true.
Said it'd be like a dark-skinned dude, light-skinned girl, or a dark-skinned woman, light-skinned dude. It will never be like two dark-skinned people. And they're looking like you look at the Bernie Mac show, or you look at Fresh Prince, you know, you look at Martin Lawrence show, you know. Yeah.
Well, you know, they say it's not appealing to the camera. So that's why they would mix us up like that. Most of the time it was a light-skinned woman and a dark-skinned man. That's really most of the time the way they do it. You know, that's just really a promotion of a type of ideal of what black people should be and what we should look like. You know what I mean? Even with Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad, you can think about just even that. I mean,
look at their kids. Think about kids on the Cosby Show.
I mean, plain and simple. I mean, you can even go down to Different World. You talk about Dwayne and Whitney. I mean, what did Whitney look like? Whitney, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's the way that they cast us to you know, and I'm always talking about this. Like, they cast us to not look
appreciate what we look together, how we look together.
It's true, or just to say that is not successful. You know what I mean? That's not love, though. That love doesn't exist.
Right.
But of course it does. You know what I mean? It's chocolate babies being born all the time. So
all the time. West Philly is an example of that.
Yeah, well, clear example of that. You know what I mean? Clear example. So I listen. I definitely feel you. Dr. John, you know, listen, I could talk to you all day about all of this. I'm sure the team
I'm flattered, bro.
Listen, we can talk to you about anything, man. And listen, you always have a seat at this table. Just for your knowledge and your input, you know what I mean?
Just send me the link, bro. I'll be there.
Yeah, listen. I'm probably gonna have to bring you in on the single dash joint, just because I know that'd be a great conversation.
I did single daddy. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but I ain't.
But you did it right. You had to do it. But that's what it is. Right. So, is there any shout outs or something you want to say? You can even shout out the organization, but anything you want to say to the people that you know that's listening?
Oh yeah, well, you know, everybody, I appreciate anybody who comes to me and thank me for my service. I don't want anybody to think that I'm not appreciative if you say that, you know what I mean? But it is to me that thank you for your service apply to everybody. Thank you for your service of this podcast. It's a servitude. Servitude means I gave something to the community. Now, you know, I appreciate that because, you know, everybody should be thankful for people who do things beyond what they think is necessary to make life work, you know, the way it does now. Military professional people, they doing a job. and every job is important to the stability of our nation. And we live here, so our nation is important. We got to protect ourselves and protect it.
Yeah.
So my hats off to everybody that's making sure their communities are worth living in. Thank you for your service, because there's a lot of people out there like AJ. He has a company. I can't think of the brother's last name, but his company is Black Coalition of Black Fathers. He's a barber. He's in West Philly, and he has a barbershop in Upper Darby. He have little meetings. I got to get you connected with the guy.
You do.
Black fathers, whether you're a single dad or whether you're still married, but he has this whole arena of black fathers, young black fathers. And, you know, they always depicting us like we're not taking care of our families. That is so wrong.
It is, man. That's the narrative.
That's so wrong for them to do that. I love my kids, bro. I couldn't even imagine not being around them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way, Todd, the same way. Yeah.
Right. And, you know, he put that together to show that black men, we are in our families. Our women do respect us.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a friend of mine who said her white coworker came and said, why black men don't take care of their kids? She said, well, white men don't either. I said, I know boy was bad enough.
Listen,
you know, but I'm glad she stuck up for us, and we need more of that. We have to stick up for us. When they say black women are hypersexual, why not? Shit, you want us to keep that a secret?
Yeah.
If dudes can be on the radio talking about their dick size, I don't see why a woman can't say anything. She got to wear that pussy. I don't get it.
Yeah.
No, but hey, don't make our women look whorish, and your women started porn.
Yeah.
Right? Black women in the 80s and the 70s, you can rarely see them doing this shit.
Yeah, you sure could. You sure could.
So let's not pretend like we the damage. We need damage control because black people acting up. Oh, y'all been acting up since you've been here. You know, to cut it out. So I'm all for that. You know what I mean? I'm all for our people getting to know each other better, some more, and loving each other, because our history is crazy.
It is, man. It's deep.
Black history is, if people got into it like they should and taught it in their houses, because that's one thing we don't do. We don't teach it in our homes.
You have to. You gotta
have to.
You have to.
Little Wayne is not your history teacher, nigga.
Yo, all right, man. All right, Doc. All right, listen. You about to be. Listen, I got to end the show. We can't keep going.
I'm sorry.
I will venture off into a whole other conversation. Don't even do it.
I'm sorry.
But that's
I hope you forgive me, sweetheart. I just be talking.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, but really, like everything you said tonight on the podcast, I felt like, people listen to this podcast be like, damn, Jimmy ain't saying nothing. Like, nah, this was a time for you to express your experiences.
I appreciate that, man.
And really, I mean, that's what it's about. It's not about, I could ask 1,000,001 questions, but your experience and what you share to me is so much more valuable, because people don't think about what life is like in the military, what it is before you go in, what it is while you're in there, and what it is when you come out. And now listen, what I just said, you could equate it to prison. You know what I'm saying? You could definitely PTSD and everything else. You could equate it. You could equate it to prison.
Because you got a sentence. You got a 4-year sentence.
You got a 4-year sentence. You sign that contract. That's it. You know what I mean?
It. That's your ass.
And look, and they'll talk about that contract. That contract is
non-negotiable.
It's non-negotiable and binding, right? Like, nah, bro, you cannot get out of this. It's like, yeah, there is no, you sign a contract
for anybody who don't really understand this. If you allow your child to sign that contract, and the day your child's supposed to leave, your child said, "No, I don't want to go now," they're gonna send the police to your house. It's an offense. They will send the police to your house. If the police can't find you, they're gonna move that up to the federal level. Now you got the federal
marshals coming after
and they're gonna handcuff your ass, and they're gonna take you down to boot camp like you were supposed to be, because you signed up for it. They will do that. They will do that.
I'm telling you. When I was doing the research about the contract, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute! Oh, whoa! This joint is vicious.
It's non-negotiable. Once your name is on that paperwork, and here's the thing: they give you up to the last moment. This is where you know you don't have a choice when you swear in. After you swear in, you're done. You are their property. You are a GI, government issue. Just like when you get to prison, you that number that they got on your little sheet. Yeah. But when you get to boot camp, you a GI. And you everything but human. They were gonna talk to you like you dirt. You ain't shit. Fuck you. Your mama ain't shit. Your daddy ain't shit. You just ain't shit until we make you who you supposed to be. They rearrange your mindset about freedom. Because what's better than freedom? Control. They control you. You want freedom because you ain't got control.
Shit. On that note. On that note, I don't even know what else to say. Loose time. Y'all anything y'all want to say, Dr. John, before we roll?
Thank you so much for coming. It's like a good insight, especially coming for a Black man like yourself. So
I appreciate that, Lucy. Thank you very much.
Yes. And I thank you too for your knowledge and insight and information, man. It was much needed, you know what I mean?
No, thank you. You've been playing my music for how long? Yeah. I didn't even know. What the? I was like, wow. Thank you, Tyrone. You said you got a song called Ain't Nobody But Jesus. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me. I'm guilty as charged. I really enjoyed being on here tonight.
Oh, man.
Jimmy, I really appreciate you for inviting me.
Yeah, brother. Yeah,
when people give you the opportunity to express yourself, it's because they admire you, and it's the admiration that bonds us. Because I admire the fact that you got this, and I admire the fact that you have a platform for people who need to be heard. Yeah. You know, I appreciate that. Yeah, and your team is wonderful.
Listen, I can't do it without them. I couldn't do it without them. You know what I mean?
Guys, Jimmy was fabulous to work with in the bank that day. I came in, I was like, "Can you fix this?" He said, "Yeah, I got you, brother." And we just started talking about my military career. And he said, "I'm gonna invite you on the podcast." I said, "Sure." And then he called me. I was like, "Oh, it's really real. All right, I'll do the podcast."
Like, nah, man, I'll play around. I find something I think needs to be talked about. Let's talk about it. Let's not shy away from it. Let's get it out in the open. You know, I mean, people.
And that's a good bank he works at too. It's full of minorities. I love that bank.
Yeah, that's why
Black people in there, Hispanic people in there, Asian people in there. Yep. It's a very diverse bank. It's better than Wells Fargo.
You don't hear me complaining about work no more. Nobody hears me complaining about work. Nobody's like, "Oh, he always complaining." I ain't complaining about work.
Yeah, that's a nice branch.
Listen,
that's a really nice branch.
I ain't complaining about nothing. 5 minutes from my house. What am I complaining about?
You know
what
I mean? Yeah.
So ain't nothing to complain about. But I'll talk about work a lot of times on the podcast because work is work, and this is the real work right here, right? And I only say that because of course I don't name where I work at or nothing like that. I think it's important that you come into these interactions with people and you don't know their story, you don't know who they are, but you show the same energy for each person that you see every day. You know, and you don't know how your energy, your positivity, your smile can change a person's attitude or even how they feel about themselves or their day.
Right.
And, I believe that every person needs to be shown the same type of courtesy, the same type of service, the same type of love, every person that you come in contact with.
Right.
And love is not a romance thing. Love is the actual thing. Right. Love is about, you got to love each other in order to understand how to help each other. Right. You know what I mean? And I find it to be important that, not that you don't have a platform at all, because you do have a platform, Dr. John. I want to make sure that people hear your story. People hear your brother's story. People hear your other family member's story, just as far as what they're experiencing, because we might walk around every day and in our brains, we're just living our life, but you don't know how your life story is going to affect somebody else.
Right.
You talked about the Most High all the time, right?
Right.
The Most High, we're examples. We are examples of him. We're examples of how we're supposed to be. And if who you are and what you do every day and the energy you put out there is helping push that cause forward, you're doing your job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing your job. So that's why I always say, family, spread love, not hate, spread joy, be honorable, be honest with each other, love each other through it all, through thick and thin, even through the bullshit, because that's how we get to know each other. Right. But for me and the team, like, I can't thank you enough for coming on tonight. I can't thank you enough for sharing what you shared. I love the realness, the authenticness of it. Everybody just feel that energy coming. You know what I mean? But, you know, Dr. John, we appreciate you, brother. And, you know, before we sign off, anything you want to say, man, just before we sign off?
No, I think I said enough. I don't want to start any more subjects.
Yeah, you always got something to say. That's the love, though.
And I like everything that you said, man, because when it boils down to it, you are right. It's all about love, and love is not romance.
It's not, man.
You know, love is life.
Love is life, man. Love is really life. So,
right.
Family, take that with you. Whatever you're doing in your day, make sure you tell somebody that you love them, because you never know, you might get a chance.
Right.
You know, I thank the team always for joining us on this podcast. This is great. Well, family, we're going to wrap the show. Remember, you can call us with your comments and questions at 844-844-1244. Again, it's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And again, family, remember, you always follow us on our Instagrams and our social media is Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Instagram, at Podcast Bonds on Twitter. And let's keep this going, man. Let's keep having these conversations. You know, let's call somebody up and tell them, just like, yo, today's a good day. I love you. Thank you. Keep it moving. You know what I mean? And just let's just keep that going, because there's too much hate out here, y'all. It's too much hate. But I'm not gonna say, you know, please, as I normally say, please wear your mask, wash your hands. I'm not gonna say that right now. I'm gonna skip over that today. We're not gonna do that one today. We're just gonna keep in the show. But family, I thank y'all for listening as much as you listening. Be peaceful. Have a great week. Peace. We out.
All right.
Fam, that's going to wrap the show. We want to thank you for listening to Jimmy Bonds Podcast on Illadelphia Radio. We ask you to leave your comments and questions at 844-844-1244. Again, that's 844-844-1244. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. That's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Now remember, family, we are still in the COVID-19 pandemic, so please remember to wash your hands, wear a mask, and practice social distancing. Also, remember to take nothing for granted and value every opportunity you have with your friends, your family, and your loved ones. For in these times, every moment is sacred. So until the next episode, you can find me on Go Ho Road, screaming, stay up, don't sleep in your dreams. I'm Jimmy Bonds, and I'm out.
Fight on, come on.